Hi everybody. Today I want to practice some breathing with you before we get into our meditation. So let's go back to the basics about simple yoga breathing. You can sit on your blocks, cushions, and all the usual options I give you. I'm going to do it so that I can feel I'm prepared. You can even put blocks under your legs like this and raise the tail a little bit more. Then you feel a little bit more grounded. We want to feel the spine upright, so sitting on the floor is not an easy task. Some sessions I have given you got the stools or the chairs. You can sit on a stool or a chair. You can even sit on your sofa and recline your back, or sit on the floor and push your back against the wall. Let's settle. I'm gonna go through breath and the chakras today. Let's go. Let the sound, focusing on the gong, slowing your thoughts. Take silent breaths. You're gonna do it again. Try to catch your mind on the third eye, focusing on the last gong. And then you feel the vibration settle in the third eye. Take a deep breath in to get ready to chant Om. Again. Then open your eyes. So I'm gonna try to teach you all that extension and how I'm using my breath, even though I got nodules on my throat and my voice is a bit restricted because I can't hit certain notes. But what I can do to extend my breath is using my all breathing areas in the body. So the first area is the lower part here. So if you place your hands on the hip bones and breathe into the lower part, so you can just pull the belly in away from your hands, then let it swell up as far forwards as you can to the hands. We don't ever have to push this far, but just push it out and then notice how far it can expand. Inhale, then exhale as you're exhaling, drawing the stomach in. So you realize how much you can contract and you squeeze the space here in the sacral area of the body. This is where our Muladhara and Svadhisthana chakras live. From one in the front, one in the back. The back one is Muladhara, Muladhara, and then the front one is Svadhisthana chakra. So it rules the water that works, and the back one is rules the back passage. So they sit in front of each other. So there's a lot of muscles here that keeps us. So we actually engage these muscles all day long because we need to control our faculties here. So we never actually totally relax here. So I want you to just relax. Feel the seat bones. Then breathe in. As you breathe out, now try to tighten the back passage and the front passage. And you realize how strong these muscles actually are. Then inhale again. And exhaling again. As you're exhaling, you can feel the stomach push in, and then extend the exhalation. And you really make it squeeze all the organs, and then inhale and relax all the organs. So you're actually trying to relax when you need to and engage when you need to. So it's not constant engagement. That way, you can start cleansing the blockages that might sit in this chakra here. So close your eyes and we'll practice this for a while. And exhale. Squeeze, squeeze without moving your pelvis or your sacrum. Try to find the seat bones on the ground and you're firmly sitting down, feeling connected to the seat bones onto the floor. Just side the tension away. You might feel straight away you got some kind of blockages releasing tension. You might feel emotional. You might feel it's tight, you can't relax, you can't let go, you're not ready to let go. I just don't want you to judge it. Even if you don't understand it, it's not the end of the world. Just be kind. Don't think about it too much. Just try to enjoy the feeling of rest, feeling of activation and relaxing. So you can understand. There's inhale and exhale, and in between each we have a little pause. So you're starting to realize you take one and you stop, then you take and the other step and you relax. Now relax your hands on your legs and see whether you can calm this area, and you're ruling in your pelvis and your sacrum, in your lower chakras, base chakras of the body. Some of us never can find the seat bones because it's difficult if you got larger posterior. You don't know what I'm talking about, so you need to kind of pull your butt cheeks back a bit. And then you can find those seat bones, bony processes that you can sit on. When you inhale, those processes relax and move away from each other. When you exhale, they kind of draw in together and you're squeezing the stomach and becoming more active. And you can do this without collapsing your upper body. Deepening the breath and exhaling. Feel the rooting. And one more time. Hopefully now you're more aware. Now we're gonna move into the middle, so where the stomach, we just think where the food goes, right? So somewhere in the middle here. And this is the solar plexus. And so we just need to kind of feel, and this is where we burn the food and everything happens here, so that's the energy center of the body. So we just want to breathe into that part. So you're kind of feeling that part increase in size. But you start from the lower part still, inhaling. So your lower belly expands, so now the middle. And exhale, lower belly contracts and middle of the belly contracts. Inhale. Exhale. So to be able to activate this area, you feel the rib cage move over onto your rectus abdominis and it just kind of squeezes in. So again, without moving the spine, it's difficult to feel it. So you need to really feel the shoulders to collapse and pull the belly in, okay? And exhale. So you're starting feeling connection on the top of the stomach there. So it's very difficult for this place to kind of expand because it's got the rib cage, and so you're gonna feel the bottom of the ribs expand with it. So if you can place your hands, then you can feel more expansion to the front, and you can feel deflation from here. Good. So we need to move up to the intercostal breath. So let's go to that. So they kind of come in hand to hand. So when you breathe into the ribs, you expand to the sides and to the back of the body. As you exhale, you squeeze the belly first, squeeze the middle on the ribs here, and then you squeeze the sides and the back of the ribs inwards. It's hard, isn't it? Especially when you're doing the back. You just don't think you got the same connection to the back muscles, but you got intercostal muscles that wrap you around. So every time you exhale, they should all work together like bellows, opening and closing. So inhale and exhale. And inhale again. Keep going, don't stop the breath. Try your best. And if you have one of these bands, you can tie them around the ribs to encourage the breath here to be stronger. Okay? So, if you don't have this, you can tie a belt, but belts can be so restrictive. I don't want you to pass out, okay? So if it's elastic band here, you can expand. You can try to come away from the band with the ribs. So if you do this correctly, it's so tiring. You won't believe how much effort you need to push from the ribs. So we don't want 100%, we want somewhere around 40-50% maybe. If you can do that in the beginning, you might only feel maybe 30% movement, maybe if you're lucky. But if you keep practicing, you realize how much more you extend the exhalation and you can breathe deeper. And once you do one, the next breath goes straight into where you were. Straight away, you already expanded. So if you do like maybe a minute a day, you'll find you'll quickly increase your flexibility in the ribs to the back and sides. Initially they will hurt, or you might even get cramps because you're not used to using the lungs this way, okay? So we talked about starting the lower part in the middle, and we got around all the rib cage, and then we got the upper part of the ribs, the collarbones and the shoulder blades. We normally breathe in this area, so there's no point me saying breathe into this area, right? Because you normally breathe there. Yeah, I can't even do it anymore. But most people just use this area of the lungs because they never realize there's places to go here, right? Because you do that naturally, in sessions we don't focus, but it's also part of the inhalation after all this. You need to feel this breath expand the collarbones and the shoulder blades fill up and lift up. This is a natural way, but we don't encourage the lift on the shoulders because we all are here anyway. So let's try that from the middle belly up. And then exhale through the lower part. Let's try to practice. You can again close your eyes and see where you can have connections with the chakras, because we got Anahata chakra, we got solar plexus, and with all those other chakras we talked about. So if they can all connect, which is all sitting in the spine, right? So you feel the lower part expand, Manipura chakra in the solar plexus, Anahata chakra in the chest and heart. Then we got the throat. It's part of where we're breathing from, and we got Vishuddha chakra sits here. So try to finish your breath, feeling the fresh expanding in the throat. As you're exhaling, narrow the back of the throat. And you kind of stimulating your vocal cords there. So it's good especially for expression because it's warming up your cords for you without even speaking. So it's here that you can swallow. Excuse me. I need a little bit of water. Good, that's much better. then you can just think about your Adam's apple below there. If you're a woman, you don't have it, but you kind of know where it is. You go pull it away from the skin. You see, you can actually move the throat, can't you? That's the shut to back of the throat, yeah? So when you go exhale, what it does, makes you vibrate internally. So that vibration and also stimulation through the throat. My voice is getting better as I'm practicing it, because I got vocal cords stuck together, so with the nodules, like, so that's why I can't move them as normal people can. But if I practice this, it starts getting easier. They soften, they moisturize, and all the blood vessels and your saliva increases here, so it oils your vocals. Then it extends the exhalation and vibrations into the throat and the back of the throat and into the third eye. So that's how we go to the third eye chakra, Ajna chakra. Okay, so that's the connection from all the way from the base through the back of the throat up through the mouth, and you feel the third eye between the eyebrows. Okay, so we are going to try to do it now from bottom to the top. So breathing in, breathing out. One more time. And relax and open your eyes. Okay, so I'm already like a bit high because all this oxygenation. So all you're trying to do is extend exhalation, right? And then expand when you breathe in. So if you're able to squeeze the belly from here, the rest is gonna kind of figure themselves out. Initially, you can't do it all. You just get so tired or so hyperventilated. But if you break it each stage down and maybe focus on one part at a time, or do your best, and you might not be feeling full effect of it yet, but this is how you're going to get the Om sound to vibrate in the body. So we're gonna try that again. So I start, as soon as I expand, I start squeeze. When the sound starts, it starts in my belly, then I can actually move my belly in and out in Kapalabhati to kind of extend there if I want to live there a bit. Then I can move in the lungs, and then I use my throat and just control my breath out, so that it's not going out at once, it's going out in stages, and I just use the back of my throat to make it vibrate so that I can extend the sound. And we finish with in the end, and that's also vibration. Then you feel the throat again and the chest, all the space vibrates. Okay, so let's try it. And again. One more time. stop breathing so deep because you might be hyperventilating. Just notice what you're feeling. Notice how you can be so calm and empty in the mind when the body is totally oxygenated. This is your total high, natural. You can feel connected to fingers, your toes, connecting in your neck and shoulders, all the organs inside the pelvic cavity, all the organs inside the abdominal cavity, all the organs inside the rib cage, all the organs inside your throat, and in your skull, in your brain. So we got superficial muscles outside, vital organs inside, and everything in between. The blood travels to each and every part of our body. It's not just one part. We can't just be legs. What would the legs do without the hips? They couldn't do anything. What could they do without the feet? They couldn't do anything. They were just pieces of slabs of meat. What could feet do without the hips or the brain? They wouldn't be able to move themselves. The brain has to dictate what feet must do. Same way we have the arms attached to our heads, our heartbeat. Is providing for the brain to be alive. So it's decided that heart is involuntary. It has to keep beating. It has no choice of mind to stop. It's not like heart can go to sleep. It has to keep beating. The same way we have to keep breathing. Notice the wonders of our bodies. They are all inside of us. Like all the creations that the humans did. It started within the brain, but it's in our bodies as well. We were cold, we created fire. It was hot, we made shelter. So your brain dictated the body to protect itself. So don't let your brain dictate so that you hurt yourself. So we got addictions, we got things we take for granted. Because we think we don't care, or whatever it is that we want to punish our bodies with. Too much of anything can be bad. So remember the basics. Where did the mind start? It wants us to be alive. It doesn't want us to be unhappy. Or it doesn't want us to be disconnected, isolated, eating too much, sleeping too much. It wants everything to work properly. So empty your mind so that you can see what is important. Go back to the beginning, where we only needed shelter and food, and that was enough for us. Now it seems nothing is enough. We have been driven by ambition, consumerism, excession. We can have things, but we shouldn't have too much of one thing. Too much of love is smothering. Too much of hate is toxic. So you need to find a balance. notice how you need to give as much as take. Start the giving. No matter how little, even if you don't have much, you can give your time, you can give your consideration. Then it starts coming back to you in so many different ways. You help someone in need. That deed doesn't get unnoticed. The person who needed it really notices it. If you smile at some stranger on the street, they notice you, and it can change a lot for that person. That doesn't mean we have to be open to everybody, but if we are in tune with our nature and emotions, we are very able to see and understand without speaking. There are connections without having to touch or speak. You can send your intention to someone far away and turn your love and goodwill towards them in the small of your eye. Wish them well. Start a chain of vibration going from your heart out into the world to do good. Do not harm. If you start creating these waves of positivity, waves of goodwill, you'll only be surrounding yourself with more waves like that from the others. The kinetic chain starts. You start the butterfly effect. And slowly, slowly, we start living easier. Looking after ourselves, others, our environment, our country, our families, to live in peace. There is enough for everybody. We just have to not be so greedy. So sending my intention to people in need, people at war, I'm hoping and wishing peace upon them. Keep this thought in your brain and send it to who you think it needs it most. Inhale, lift the arms gently up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. I'm going to chant Om Namo Narayanaya 9 times. This is for peace, peace everywhere. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everybody. Peace in the world, peace in our hearts. Have a lovely day. See you next time.